BBC Coventry and Warwickshire and the Kinks and Lola. They had to change the lyric in that. That bit that says, tasted just like cherry cola. It was originally Coca-Cola. But they had to change it because you can't say Coca-Cola on the BBC. Oops. Something spooky cosmic now. Last week was my first ever time on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. Exactly 20 years after I first went on the radio. Now, in 1993, my first radio job was the afternoon presenter, 2 in the afternoon till 7 at night, on Hits and Memories 2PK in Parks in the central west of New South Wales. Now, the spooky coincidence is, Parks is twinned with Coventry. Henry Parks, the bloke who founded the town, or the town is named after. Henry Parks was from this area. Here's another spooky link for you. The mayor of Parks was here in Coventry for the Olympics and came to the Godiva Awakes event in Coventry. Now, live on the phone from Parks in New South Wales, Australia. Good morning, the mayor of Parks, Ken Keith. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Graham. Terrific, and greetings from Australia.
Fantastic. What's the weather like today?
Actually, we've had a lovely, glorious autumn day here. 33 degrees. It was beautiful.
Has it changed much since 93?
Look, it has grown a bit, No, the shopping centre's grown, and the town has continued to prosper. Another probably 2,000 more in population than it had when you were here in 93.
I don't suppose... Do you remember hearing me on the radio back then?
Look, I can recall your dulcet vones.
Well, that's great to know. That's great to know. I forget who the mayor was when I was there, but I did a thing at McDonald's on McHappy Day with them. Do you still do McHappy Day? Does the mayor still go?
Yeah, they still do McHappy Day.
You still go and serve the burgers to everybody on the founder of McDonald's birthday.
They do.
You still do. So you've done that, have you?
We have, yeah.
Excellent. Now, I know that Parks is famous in Australia. It was only just really getting going when I was there, but it's huge now. The annual Elvis Festival.
Look, it's enormous now, the Elvis Festival in Parks. Each year in January when Elvis's birthday is on, it's often very hot in the middle of summer here. But we have over 15,000 people come to Parks. Our population more than doubles. And we have just everyone getting dressed up in Elvis outfits and have a wonderful time,
including yourself. There's a nice YouTube video of you being interviewed by the local TV, Ken, and you're dressed as Elvis in the interview.
The mayor gets a jumpsuit on and has a good time and gets involved with the festival, and it's fabulous. We have an Elvis Express comes up from Sydney to Parks for the Elvis Festival, and it's fully packed out with Elvis entertainers and people coming up just to have a good time.
For anyone who doesn't know the town, just give us an idea of the size of Parks.
Yeah, look, the Parks Township itself has got a population of around about 12,000 people, and there's 15,000 people in our shire, which is 6,000 square kilometres, so it's about 100 kilometres across our shire in round figures, so it takes about an hour to drive from one side of Parks to the other.
And it's about 5 hours drive straight west of Sydney, isn't it?
Look, it is, yeah, directly west of Sydney, almost in the centre of New South Wales, to give some people a little bit of an idea. So we're in the central area where the wheat growing and sheep growing are the predominant activities.
Still got 9 pubs?
I think there might be an extra one there now.
I used to drink at the Commercial, because I'll tell you that, because in Parks, like, finding out where somebody drinks says more about them than finding out where they work. So I tell you...
Well, it's a wonder we didn't meet each other in the Commercial.
Is that where you drink as well?
My sporting teams that I used to play with in my youth.
There's a guy I used to drink with in there, I bet he's still around. He was a rugby league referee. His name was John, but everybody called him Fred.
John Francis, yeah.
Yeah, that's him, Johnny Francis. Yeah, you know him, do you?
He's one of my closest friends. I used to play touch football and cricket with John.
Look at that. He's an upholsterer from memory.
Yeah, no, look, he was. Yeah, no, very nice fella.
All right, well, hey,
I've been at a pub this evening in one of the Star Hotel in Parks, is just celebrating 100 years of business. That probably doesn't mean much in England, but out here it's quite a milestone.
Well, I hope you say hi to John Francis for me, Ken.
I will do that.
All right. Now you've visited Coventry. What were your main impressions of Coventry, of Parkes' twin town?
Yeah, look, Coventry's always impressed me. I've been there 3 times now, all up, and the last time was in last year for the Olympic Games and the Lady Godiva Wakes projects, and I had the pleasure of talking to Bob Brolly that day.
Yeah, did you? Okay, well, you talked to all the stars then.
Comparing,
right.
The Lady Godiva Wakes, and Bob was one of the team that came out to Parkes in 2001, and so it was nice to catch up with Bob again and talk about things. So, did Bob get his voice on 2PK when he was there? He did, and look, there's another cosmic connection with Parkes. Look at this; it just does not stop. And we also actually drove Bob to Orange at 3 o'clock in the morning to do a live cross to do his BBC show in the Midlands. Did you, in Orange? That would be out of the studios at 2GZ, was it? That's right. No, it was actually out of the ABC studio. Oh, was it? Okay, of course, yeah. Yeah, okay. Hey, well, great to talk to you, Councillor Ken, and I'm glad Parkes is ticking along without me. Look, it is. We've only just survived since your absence, but we've got a large copper mine now that has been very helpful to our economy, just north of Parkes. And it's all progressing very well, the town. And look, hoping to bring a contingent, a soccer team and a few others as a civic delegation to Coventry in 2014, in about 12 months' time in the summer of 2014. So we look forward to catching up with a lot of our Coventry friends in a year and a bit. That's fantastic. So we're going to keep the relationship going between Parkes and Coventry. Yeah, look, we've had a very strong, it's one of the longest relationships between any of the cities in the world. In fact, in Australia, Parkes and Coventry have the longest sister city relationship or twinning relationship of any other town. So it is a long-standing relationship, and we've had quite a few Lord Mayors come out here and quite a few of our mayors visit. And last time we were over there, we had a soccer team and had a wonderful time. Councillor Keith, we're out of time, but great to talk to you. I could have a yarn with you for ages. We haven't even talked about Parkes' main claim to fame, which is that the pictures of Neil Armstrong walking on the moon came through the telescope at Parkes, the radio telescope there. Yes, our world-famous dish is just an icon as a tourism attractor and still a world-class astronomical instrument, making discoveries all the time. And it's still in a sheep paddock. And it's still in the sheep paddock. Yeah, all right. Hey, Councillor Ken Keith, the Mayor of Coventry's twin town, Parkes, thanks for your time this morning, or this evening, your time in Parkes, New South Wales, Australia. A pleasure, Graham, any time. A plan to hand fixed penalties to people caught throwing litter from their car windows has been given initial backing by the House of Lords. Terry, in Baggington, what's the problem? My argument is, why is the government saying we are going to fine the driver as well as the passenger? I think, well, if it's the driver's the captain of the ship, isn't he? He's responsible for everything that goes on. If someone's not wearing a seatbelt, it's on the driver. He's supposed to be driving that vehicle. He's not supposed to be keeping his eyes on his passengers 24/7. But everybody knows it's wrong, and it's against you shouldn't be chucking litter around. Yeah, if he sees it. Yeah. If he sees it, but 9 times out of 10, people do it, passengers do it, when the driver's not looking. You think that part of it's unfair, then? Why don't they just say, OK, you've committed the crime, now you're going to pay us so much money, and also have so many hours litter picking down the sides of the roads. Oh, you reckon you should be forced to go and pick up other litter? That's right, other people's litter. I love that idea, Terry. I think that's brilliant. And what's more, make them wear coats. I'm a litter dropper. make them wear coats. Why not go the whole hog and make them dress as wombles and pick up litter with giant tidy bags? Why not go? Why stop at the coat there, Terry? Why not make them dress as actual wombles and actually have to sing the theme to the wombles while they're doing it? That's going a step too far. Womble.
Plans to create the next generation of car engines have been unveiled by the government and the car industry. The investment's been announced by the Business Secretary, Vince Cable, who's also the co-chair of the Automotive Council. I spoke to Dr. Cable and asked him why the government's getting involved in the car industry when the market will decide what it wants.
We're not second-guessing the market at all. The car industry is a great success story. You may remember it was a complete mess 25 years ago. It's now booming. Companies like Jaguar Land Rover, BMW, Nissan, investing very heavily in Britain without any subsidy from the government.
And ultimately the goal is to find a different propulsion system other than petrol and diesel, really, then?
Well, petrol and diesel are becoming more efficient. We want to help that process along, but there are other kinds of technologies, variations of hybrid and electric vehicles that will probably become the norm in a decade's time, and we want to make sure that Britain remains at the head of the field when it comes to developing new engines.
If we get to a point where we're using less fossil fuels, there'll be less money for the government to make at the pump, because most of what we're paying now is tax. Where will that money come from?
Well, that's clearly we will have to raise the revenue in other ways, but it's a good problem to have.
Oh, you'll get it off us somehow.
I'm sure we will.
All right. Type 2 diabetes is now a common condition for Britain's young people. That's according to a survey by Cardiff University. It's found that over the last 20 years there's been a huge rise in the number of people under 40 being diagnosed with the condition. Professor Craig Curry is one of the people behind the research, and he says,
essentially we are a nation of lazy porkers.
So what do you reckon? Are we? I think we are. You see a lot more bigger people now. You see people, you see like couples, and you think, they're very close. They obviously finish each other's sandwiches.